ora koutou katoa, nau mai hara mai ki te ao Hākinakina, your sports show right here on your Tribal Pulse, Te Kore Mako o Taranaki, 94.8 FM and 98.4 FM. Well, she is a po within her community, a protector and carer of many. She is actively involved in local netball and other community sports, whilst also holding the role as a supportive, sporting māmā, a founding member of Waitara Whānui. Her leadership and dedication to her community is second to none. Nau mai, hara mai, Lungi O'Carroll-Leota. Kia ora, cuz, how are we?
Kia ora, I'm good, thanks.
Hey, how'd you like that intro? Hey, pretty cool. It's good to have you on the show, cuz.
A little bit embarrassing, but hey.
Very humble, very humble. Well, cuz, it's awesome to have you on the show. Really looking forward to having a kōrero to you and hearing of your amazing journey. Now, just before we get started, ko wai koe, no he koe, just a bit about yourself and where you're from.
Ko Taranaki te maunga, ko Waitara te awa, ko Waitara te whenua, ko Waitara te tangata, ko Sasa toku papa, ko Kelly toku mama, ko Anasi sau, rātou ko whetu aku tūngane, ko ke kararawa ko Sani aku teina, ko Losalia taku tamahine, ko Whatiauma taku tama, ko Kauwhata taku ngākau, taku mokopuna, ko Lungi ahau. Kia ora.
Kia ora, kia ora. Awesome, beautiful, big whānau there, cuz. Now, growing up in a sports-minded community such as Waitara, what were some of the sports that you played as a young wahine, as a young kōtero, and what sports did you excel in as you come through high school in that?
I suppose here in Waitara you play everything. I was actually born into a netball and rugby league whānau. My dad, uncles, cousins all played for the Bears. Or so did my mum actually. And then my mum, her sisters, her cousins and nieces, they all played netball. So I was kind of born into netball and rugby league. But as I went to school, I got chucked into athletics, and my mates were all playing softball, so I played softball. Swimming, you're brought up down the pool, so you swam. Got into athletics just to get out of class. And then at high school, you kind of go into the volleyballs and the basketballs and anything that you can do just to get out of class. So I kind of gave everything a go growing up, because it was kind of all that was here to do was play sports. So yeah,
100%. So what do you think? What do you think it is about the Waitara community that has helped kind of forge the sporting legacy that it holds for such a small tight knit community, and the amount of sportsmen and women that have done so well out of Waitara? What is it? What do you think the recipe is?
I think it's because if you play for Waitara, you understand the dynamics of never being in a fair sporting arena. You're never we're never at a fair playing advantage as everyone else. So you've got to play that little bit harder just to get the 50-50 calls. You've got to work that little bit harder to win. So I think the fact that we love winning, and the fact that we know that the chips are against us, you play harder, you play for each other. It's not just usually about the code. You become a family. You have each other's back. You might not like each other, but when it comes to sports, you have each other's backs. So that's just looking back on my journey in sports. Is I hated losing, and nothing against New Plymouth or anywhere else, but I hated losing to the bigger towns and the ones who looked like they had more than we did. The opportunities for them just fell into their laps. So I think you dug a little bit deeper, and you played not just for yourself, but for where you come from. And because Waitara was always frowned upon, you had more to play for. So yeah, that's how I seen it.
Love it. Totally agree with you. So obviously growing up in Waitara, there's a lot of amazing sportsmen and women, but who were some of your sporting idols growing up in the town?
Oh, you've interviewed most of them. You could go to any sports and I could tell you people, the Martin cousins with softball. So I grew up with Ria Martin, who's Jared's little sister, and Bevan's baby cousin, and we were best of friends growing up. And they were only like 5, 6 years older than me and Ria, but I idolised them. They were amazing. Then there was a Tammy Wallace and then Jay Bailey. They were all amazing women, softballers. There's a whole heap though, but they're just the ones off the top of my head. Bull Martin, he was amazing when it came to coaching, and his knowledge of softball was awesome. I had him. A Dave Elder, he was another coach that I had through softball who was awesome. Then we go into rugby league, and you've got your Howie Tamati, you've got the Tangidar boys, you've got Uncle Dave Watson, you've got Stace and Jody who played age groups in league. So, Mackie was there with Uncle Phil. There's just a whole heap of people going into netball. You've always going to have your superstars like Rita Whatialofa and Waimarama Taumoni, but our local stars, the Wendy Healy's, the Aaron and Newtons, Auntie Linda, my Auntie Lily, they all played for this team called Aotearoa, and they were amazing. And then you had Bubby, her real name's Teresa, but I knew her as Bubby growing up, and she was absolutely outstanding. These were players that I thought were better than some of the New Zealand players at the time. And I woke up every Saturday morning just to go and watch these people play, and they were all locals. Going over into the rugby, you've got the whole Uncle Felix O'Carroll and Colin Coopers, Charlie Max. There was just so many people that you could go to watch every week. It was amazing. And we were real spoilt when it came to local talent. Every coach you would watch from Waitara, someone was amazing. Someone was about to make it in the New Zealand teams. It was awesome growing up here in Waitara when it comes to sports. Real awesome.
Wow, there's some pretty special names there of people that have gone very well in their sports, not only nationally, but local legends. And you're not wrong. There's some amazing people there. So now, becoming a māmā is one of the most precious things in life. And how has your journey been as a mum, seeing your tamariki excel within their chosen sports? This must be an awesome thing for you to see.
Yeah, I don't think you can truly explain that feeling of seeing your babies succeed in their chosen sports. It's a feeling. It's not something you can say and express. Just seeing, for my son example, seeing the determination, everything that he put into his achievements, it's just it's an amazing feeling. The grit and determination and the resilience, and it kind of all pays off when they get to do what they wanted to do. He absolutely loved rugby league, and getting to watch him, it was more so at his jersey presentation that was more heartwarming than anything, because we had his grandfather with us, and he's named after my dad. And it was just a real proud moment because my father is a league lover, and it was almost, it was just, I can't explain that feeling. I don't know, it just overwhelms me. And then as for my girl, she kind of schooled me a little bit in regards to parents' expectations and stuff like that. And she kind of made me realise it was time to take a step back and allow our kids to be what they wanted to be instead of what I wanted them to be. For both of them, I had high expectations of them being this, that, and the other, which was trying to make them live my dream. But once I did take a step back and allowed them to do them, I felt like they excelled more in their own way than I could have ever imagined. So just allowing my babies to do what they wanted to do was kind of it for me, after having all these plans for them to be a silver fern and to be a kiwi and all that stuff. So yeah, I suppose when you're in those shoes, you know what I'm talking about with that feeling.
100%. I can totally relate to that. We've got two very special tamariki there doing amazing things within their chosen sports. Well, Whānau, make sure to stay tuned with us. We're going to come back to talk to Lungi soon about her netball journey and also about Waitara Whānui. Make sure to stay tuned, whānau. Well, we're back. Wānau no mai hara mai ki te ao Hākinakina, your sports show right here on your Tribal Pulse, Te Kore Mako o Taranaki. We're back here with Lungi O'Carroll-Leota, having an awesome kōrero about her journey in sports. Now, Kaz, can you share what first inspired you to get involved with, with coaching and within the community sports? Obviously, you had a, career yourself playing sports, but in the coaching environment and in that sporting environment, what kind of inspired you to get into that kind of stuff?
Having amazing coaches. I had the Terry Tamaris, the Bull Martins, the Winter Keeleys. I had them, or even Ivy Topping. She was a part of my netball career. They were real selfless coaches who gave up their time and their knowledge. And I suppose as I was playing under them, I started guiding my teams along as I was playing, so it automatically kind of made me feel like I was already coaching. And so when I stepped away from my school years of playing sports, I started getting pulled back in by Terry Tamati at Waitara High School to come back and coach some of our school teams. And so kind of just started there. I feel like it's an intergenerational. If you have the knowledge to share, then you do. And it was kind of like a giving back situation. And because, like I said, I had people before me give back to me, so it was my time to give back to the generations after me.
Love it, love it, love that. They're definitely correct there, giving back to our rangatahi. Now, what has been the most rewarding, rewarding part of working with, young athletes and young rangatahi within your community?
I think it's more about teaching them that it's more about the code. It's sports and enjoying sports and achieving goals isn't just about the sport itself or where you come in that sport. It's about building a family within that sport. I kind of felt like that the sport itself was just the vehicle to grow a bigger family for people, have a bigger network and more people in your life to love and share your burdens and troubles. So, yeah, it was more about, I felt that was more of a success than people making those big teams. Like, making those big teams are awesome and have always been blessed to have been a part of people's journeys, but it was more about the growth of the person within themselves than the actual titles that they got as sports people. So that's been a huge thing for me.
100%. Having a real impact on lives, using sports as that vehicle is definitely a beautiful thing. Now, netball is a huge passion of yours, and you're a pillar within the netballing community and have helped various teams over many years. What are some of the highlights that kind of stand out for you in your netballing career and coaching career and stuff?
I love netball and I hate netball all in one. I loved playing when I could play. I loved winning, I won't lie. I loved winning. I loved showing people that not all sizes fitted into that pretty netball dress that everyone wears, and that people this size had really good skill sets too. So I suppose coming into netball and showing my different people that have come into my teams to use their bodies and their knowledge and their skill sets was a big thing for me. I've only ever played for Waitara teams when it comes to netball. It's a loyalty thing. And I've only really ever coached Waitara teams. And I've brought in, like it's got whānui, so we've brought in the wider community for our crew. I kind of had this mindset growing up that I would only ever teach Waitara people, but then I realised when I stepped back into the men's and mixed netball world that we had to widen our skill set across Taranaki. So I kind of created that space for Waitara Whānui and opened it up a little bit further than our boundary of Waitara. But it's been awesome learning about other people outside of here, allowing myself to bring other people to be a part of this whānau. It's been a journey, and it's a huge journey to see other people outside of Waitara wear a Waitara name on their chest. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It obviously speaks volumes to the kaupapa. And speaking of the kaupapa, Waitara Whānui, now you're a founding member of Waitara Whānui. Tell us a little bit about how this creation kind of come to fruition, and tell us a little bit about how the amazing kaupapa was born.
Yeah, I won't tell you the exact reason it started because it's a little bit of a out the gate story, but we had it started with touch. Our kids were, I think my daughter might have been about 13, 14, and my son would have been about 12, and they'd only just started in touch. Touch was huge out here. Mike and Kelly were hard out into touch, and we just started a Waitara module. And some of our kids didn't make a rep team one year. And it was a bit of a hard pill to swallow because we had some pretty talented kids out here. And then we found out the reason behind it all, so we decided to make and create some opportunities so our kids had a fair playing field. And that's how it all kind of turned into what it was. So in 2015, we started our touch module. We went from 5 teams to something like 60-something now. It was amazing to see our community come together. Like, you had grandparents and you had parents, and it was just real awesome to see all these people really involved and engaged in sports. Something that was positive, kept our babies off the streets, somewhere safe for them to go, and it just grew and grew and grew. And then in 2021, I decided to start the netball side of Whānui. And yeah, we had a pretty successful year that year, and it just grew from there with the netball. Got some amazing people involved with our netball. We've had some amazing results come out through our netballers. Yeah, we've had Cruzy Tangida come home and be a part of us. We've had one of his friends who played for the New Zealand team come and be a part of us too. We've had New Zealand players come out of Waitara Whānui in both outdoor and indoor netball for men's and women's. And then Kelly also started the rugby side of things, which has been really, really, it's been hard, but it's been really rewarding, being able to create safe spaces for our kids and our whānau to be in, spaces where they can be themselves, spaces where they feel comfortable enough to feel safe. It's been an awesome journey. This is our 10th year as a club in Hull. We've done heaps of different little things, like little gigs here and there with Kiwi Grooves and all that kind of stuff. Pulled our different touch, netball and rugby together. There's a group of my netball boys who tried to start the basketball this year under Waitara Whānui. It's a work on, but we are growing, and yeah, it's been a pretty awesome journey to date.
Well, I can say I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the wider community, but big mihi out to yourself and Kelly Boy and the rest of the whānau that helped create this amazing kaupapa that is, changing lives, impacting lives for the better. Doing some awesome mahi there, cuz. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us and sharing your amazing journey, and continue doing all the amazing work that you do and touching the lives that you're touching. And we thank you for coming on the show.
I appreciate that.